Welcome to Budget Beauty, where I help you look flawless for less. Welcome back, and a very special welcome if you're new here. My name is Jen, and this is Budget Beauty. We do everything beauty on a budget, and that includes my top 10 eyeshadow palettes for fall. These are the 10 palettes that I have been reaching for time after time during the fall season. I actually did this video last year, so I'll link that video down below for you. I already have plans for a Halloween one and a holiday one, but I love fall. It is my favorite time of year. As you can see, I've already decorated for Halloween because I also love Halloween. It's one of my favorite holidays. So we are gearing up for fall, for Halloween, for spooky season, and that includes 10 palettes that I feel just scream fall. So if you're excited, give this video a big thumbs up. Subscribe if you're not, turn your bell on because I upload lots and lots of new videos every single week. I will link all 10 of my favorite fall palettes down below for you. Spoiler alert, I am wearing one of the palettes on my eyes today, as well as my favorite beauty boxes, all of the makeup that I'm wearing in today's video. If you would like to recreate this look, and come follow me over on TikTok for a little bit more beauty on a budget. And in no particular order, let's talk about my top 10 fall palettes. So we're gonna start with this little baby right here. I wanna start with this small palette because it's affordable and it is all the fall vibes. And this is the Natasha Denona Mini Bronze Palette. This is a beautiful, beautiful palette. It does contain 4 buttery mattes and 1 shimmer shade. What I love about the shimmer is it pairs beautifully with all of the mattes. And it is all the fall colors. We've got orange, we've got a deep, dark burgundy brown, and again, that shimmer is just quintessential fall. This is an affordable, small, portable palette. I always like to share a 5-pan or 6-pan palette with you just so you have options for smaller palettes if you don't love a big palette. And I think this mini bronze from Natasha Denona definitely deserves a spot in today's video. Next up is from my all-time favorite indie brand, well, one of my all-time favorite indie brands, and that is Unearthly Cosmetics. And this is the Leather and Lace palette. This palette actually came out last year. It is still available on the Unearthly website. And again, it is everything fall. And what I love about this palette is we've got the fall oranges, but we also have that pop of green and that pop of purple. I have used this palette so many times. You can see she's very well loved. I love that it is laid out with the rose so that you can create a look using the rose if you want it to be a little bit more monochromatic, or you can mix and match. We have light, mid-tone, and deep mattes and coordinating shimmers. And fall doesn't just have to be orange and brown. It can be these beautiful purples and greens, which is all what we see in the leaves and the trees during the fall months. And of course, the formula of this is a million out of 10. As always with Unearthly Cosmetics. While we're talking about Unearthly Cosmetics, let's do another one. This is actually the Unearthly Cosmetics Fall Magic Palette. Now, this palette is the old version. She actually just reformulated and redid this palette, and I actually like the new Fall Magic even better. I am not going to pick it up only because I have this one, and I really love this one as well, but she made what was great even better. And here is your color story. Now, the new Fall Magic is pretty similar to this color story wise. Few different shades, different shimmer formulas, really changed it up just a little bit. But again, this is everything fall. It is fall magic. So we've got oranges, we've got greens. I love the addition of this pop of teal blue multi-chrome. We even have a pop of purple down in the corner. But I mean, you have to include a palette that says fall magic in your top 10 palettes for fall. Now, next up is the palette that I'm wearing on my eyes today. Now, this is an indie brand that I discovered only through Slay Glam Box. I had never heard of this brand until I subscribed to Slay Glam Box. We do get a palette in that subscription box every month. It is linked down below for you guys with a discount if you're interested in subscribing. And I believe from what you guys have told me that Rasha B Cosmetics is owned by Slay Glam Box. We always get a Rasha B Cosmetics palette and sometimes other makeup in Slay Glam Box, which I'm not mad about because I love their formula. Their mattes are amazing, their shimmers are amazing. And again, this is the palette on my eyes today. So this is the Rasha B Cosmetics Gold Digger palette. Now, when I show this to you, you're gonna go, I see it. I see all the fall. And here is your color story. Again, it is a spin on fall. We have your traditional fall colors, but we also have some pops of fun. This is one of those blue-brown shades, those shimmery blue browns. Absolutely beautiful. It is a little bit more like a topper, so it's just a glossy topper. It's beautiful as an inner corner highlight, beautiful as a face highlight, beautiful as a brow highlight. Now, what is on my eyes today is the two mattes down here, this kind of brown matte and the burgundy matte. I did also add in these three shimmers just to give me that quintessential fall eye look today. And then I popped this blue on my lower lash line. And it is actually a shimmer shade, but it's such a dark shimmer shade that I could easily use that as a lower lash line shade. And I love my look today. I actually went grocery shopping and got a couple compliments, and it was using the Roshabi Cosmetics Gold Digger palette. Now you can buy this on the Roshabi Cosmetics website. I will make sure it is linked down below, as well as all of the other palettes in today's video. Now here's another palette that came out last year that is a fall palette. It's everything fall, and that is Nomad Cosmetics Hudson Valley. Now Nomad is another one of my all-time favorite indie brands. I have 90% of their palettes, and I love every single one of them. And let's just talk about this fall color story. Kind of like Fall Magic from Unearthly, this is fall. This is fall in a palette in every sense of the word. We've got all of the beautiful browns. We even have the pops of bright reds that you see in the color changing leaves during fall. We have three shimmer shades in the middle, a row of greens, and a row of neutrals. This palette is gorgeous. I love it. I've actually used this already this year, and I definitely plan on using this much more with fall looks, but I love everything about this palette. I think it's beautiful. I think the color story is fall, and that is exactly what I was looking for in the Hudson Valley palette from Nomad Cosmetics. I do have a discount code with Nomad. I'll make sure that that is attached to the link in the description box. Now the next palette actually came out this year, and this is a brand that I really enjoy. I don't buy a lot of the palettes. It's a little bit more of a high-end price tag, and I'm particular on the palettes that I do buy, and that is Natasha Denona, and this is the Yucca palette. Now this came out this year, and this palette blew my mind in so many ways. The Natasha Denona mattes are always buttery soft, beautiful, blendable, perfection, but the shimmers in this palette, that is what really stole the show for me. And here is the Yucca palette. It is absolutely stunning, and it is absolute fall. We have oranges, this baby poop mustard yellow, which is stunning. We have some grungy greens, some grungy oranges, and the shimmers. The shimmers in this palette are really, really absolutely positively gorgeous. This is what kind of reignited my love with Natasha Denona. I just bought her I Need a Nude palette, and I love that as well. I actually have a full video tutorial on the Yucca palette and the I Need a Nude, so I'll put all of those down below for you as well. But if you want a really good palette, and again, she's a little pricey, she's about $69, highly recommend the Yucca. It is, in my opinion, the best palette she's ever released. Now this next palette, I think it's still available. I'm sure it's still available. And that is from Anastasia Beverly Hills, and this is the Primrose palette. Now I actually got this palette in a subscription box. And what I like about this palette, besides the fall color story, is that there are two large shades here that can be used as blushes. So you can use these on the eyes, and you can use these as blush. So it's a great travel palette. And again, here's your color story. It has the oranges that definitely give fall. We've got a burgundy, we've got a purple, we have some really, really pretty pinks. And if you use this deep dark orange blush, it just ties in the fall vibes on your face. It gives your cheeks that fall vibe as well. These four shades right here are beautiful together. This is just a really nice palette. The color story is very well curated. It's very fall, and the quality of this palette is really, really good. I honestly don't own a lot of Anastasia Beverly Hills palettes because I never think the quality is very good, but this one I actually really enjoyed and will be using this fall. Now this next palette is fall, and this next palette is probably the most neutral fall palette that I'm including in today's video. If you're new here, I'm a color lover. No, I don't discriminate against makeup. I will wear neutrals as well, but I just love color. And this is definitely a neutral palette, but it's a really good neutral palette. And that is the Coffee Shop palette from Juvia's Place. Now, this is fairly new to my collection. I do have a full video on this palette as well. And it's really, really beautiful. It is a beautiful neutral palette. What I enjoy most about this, besides its fall color story, is that it goes from light to deep to matte, dark in the mattes, and so it gives you that perfect gradients to have a transition shade, deepen that up, put a beautiful outer corner, and the shimmers in this palette are also very beautiful. Now, if I want a neutral palette, if I think I'm gonna do a neutral look today, I reach for this one a lot, and I can definitely see myself pulling in some of these oranges and browns for beautiful fall looks as well. So highly recommend Juvia's Place Coffee Shop. Now the next palette I also think is still available. It has to be because I purchased it not too long ago, and that's from ColourPop, and that is the Good as Gold palette. Now when I show this to you, it'll make you think scarecrow, hayfields, corn maze. This color story is 100% grungy fall. Isn't this beautiful? I love all of the yellows in this palette. Yellow is one of those colors that screams fall. We have some browns, we have some lighter kind of beige shades that also tie in all of the fall feelings, and this palette is really good quality. I bought this on a whim, mainly for the yellows. I love this gold shimmer and this gold yellow here, and then this yellow is so beautiful as an inner corner highlight. I love that there's an inclusion of a black to deepen up that outer corner. I bought this, like I said, on a whim for the yellows, and it's a really good palette. I've reached for it several times. You can see we have some dips. This is a great fall palette. This is a really good kind of grungy, earthy, sunflowery fall palette. And last but not least is one of the indie brands that I also really enjoy. I haven't purchased anything from them at all this year. I don't think they've really released anything, or if they have, it hasn't got my attention. But this palette is one of my favorite palettes in my collection overall, and the favorite palette from Ace Beauté, and this is Tropical Vibes. Now you might be thinking, tropical for fall? Yes. She might have the name Tropical Vibes, but she is a fall palette. I love this palette so much. What I love about this is this shade right here. It just brings to life any of those beautiful, any fall look, any look in general. I also love the bright chartreuse, the bright yellow, again, just to brighten it up a little bit. Fall is still sunny and nice out in most areas, and that brings that sunny fall to me. And again, the greens in this palette, the browns in this palette, this inclusion of this rust shade, again, just really scream fall. This is a beautiful formula and a beautiful palette, and one that I highly recommend. I do reach for this palette year round, but especially in the fall months. So those are my top 10 fall palettes. Let me know down below which of these palettes do you think is your fall palette, and also let us know if there's any palettes out there that you enjoy. I may have to check those out as well, but these are the palettes that I feel like I will be reaching for the most this season. Of course, they are all linked down below for you. If there's any discount codes that I can round up, I will put those in the description box for you, as well as my favorite beauty boxes, all of the makeup that I'm wearing in today's video, including the Rashbi Gold Digger palette on my eyes, and of course, come follow me on TikTok for a little bit more beauty on a budget. So happy fall, y'all.